Are we live? I think we are. There we go. Now we're live. My hair looks a bit funky, but it'll be fine. If I remember right, we're at war with the Nords. I think that's where we left off, but I'm gonna have to check just to make sure. Yep, at war with the Nords. Okay, so Tyr's pretty safe. Got a nice army going as well. Yeah, sure, I can take that guy on. Yeah, I've got my killing gear. Oh, that's interesting. So prevent war. And it's discard. Safe if you join me. Prefers me. Awesome. So he's just joined me. Awesome. That is very good. It's one less lord for them. One more lord for me. Yo, Billia, do you want to join me? No, I don't think he does. That's fine. Okay, so they're taking the slow approach, so I'll just climb the hills. It's a lot of shit flying our way, that's for sure, but should be okay. I can't hit anything. There we go. We done? Aye, certainly looks like we're done. That's very good. Very good. So, next plan of action will be to gather everyone around and take Sargoth. And then pretty much beat him into submission. Yeah, I'll take anything. So let's call in a call in reinforcements. Ooh, that actually should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. Give a quick spin array around the mountain, and we take Sargoth. Welcome to the stream, Infernal. How you doing, my friend? You actually beat thingy to it. Normally hard is the first one to be on the stream. How's your weekend been anyways? It was alright, that's good. Did you do anything interesting, or you just been stuck inside? Waiting for Hardy to drop in and tell him frowned is bad. I think you two go well together. Because you both like to wind each other up. It's the little things, yeah. He should drop in today. I mean, he always drops in. But he should drop in. Not guaranteed. He's probably not seen the announcement, but should be in today. Come on, can I not hit him from here? Probably hitting something else. So, did you hear about that UK thing? You know, when you read the description, do you know what I'm talking about? The 60% of the UK. Do you know what that's a reference to? Do you want me to explain it? Basically, I don't care if you want me to explain it or not, I'm going to explain it. Basically, the Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, said that to build herd immunity against coronavirus, 60% of the UK needs to be infected with it and resist it, so it doesn't spread to the 40% that, you know, are weak against it. That could cause death, basically. Do you know what herd immunity is? I don't think that's quite how it works. It's probably a higher percentage that needs to be infected to work. But the point is, I know what herd immunity is. Okay, that's good. Saves me a lot. Yeah, I don't think 60% is enough. I think they were being, it works on 95%. Yeah, I think they were being quite conservative with that number. Try and push it, because if they say if 95% of the people need to be immune to it, then, you know, people will just freak out. But apparently they freaked out with the 60%. People are going crazy over the 60%, saying that, oh, he wants to infect 60% of the population. That's with a kill-death ratio of 2%. Have you heard about the vaccine? What vaccine? No, I haven't. Please do share. Please do share. Turns out Israel is making it as well since was making it since a while back, actually. Does he work on this coronavirus? The lead scientist said, let's call it pure luck. Hey man, most likely, yeah. I know I am taking that shit. Hey, I don't know, man. It could be, could not be. One thing I know for sure, I'd rather have we need a vaccine as soon as possible. Because I don't think the economy is built for withstanding this amount of pressure. But yeah, I had an argument on Twitter today about the 60% of the UK, because I said that I think it's actually a good idea to infect 60% of the UK, or at least 60% with the UK with the coronavirus. And then someone said, oh, I guess you're under 30 and you don't mind being an orphan. Someone said, and I said, well, that's not my point. My point is when they want to infect someone, they're not just going to go around with a wet towel full of virus and slap it on people's faces. That's not what the scientists will do, whoever's leading the project. They'll basically pick out people who will not get either any symptoms or will be really light symptoms. Okay, this is speculation, but I think this is how I would go about it. They'll pick out people who are really resilient to it, who's got amazing immunity system, and young people as well, especially children, and then they'll infect them with the virus, and then they'll give them medical support as soon as possible. They'll isolate them and then give them medical support as soon as possible, which means any symptoms that they might have will be controlled, not by medication. Well, they'll probably give them some paracetamol just for the headaches or whatever, some painkillers for the headaches or the fever, try and give them some aspirin to cool down the fevers, and they'll be very well medicated. Because here's what happens, a lot of the deaths that have happened because of coronavirus is because either people just left it till the last minute and then died because they didn't receive medical attention soon enough, or it's people who are really vulnerable to it. If people had gotten to the hospital straight away or taken this shit serious instead of just leaving out it's just a flu, we'll be okay, then a lot of the deaths wouldn't have happened. At the start, that is. But now the people that are dying are elderly people who are really vulnerable to this, and people who've got other problems. That's the only people that are dying. Because if you think about it, some people don't even show symptoms. Okay, some people don't even show symptoms. What does that tell you? That tells you that anyone can be infected. As long as you got a cough, you could be infected. Oh, I can't take that. Oh yeah, that's right. So anyone can be infected. But you don't go to hospital because you got a cough, because it makes no sense. So there'll probably be a lot more infected than what the studies are showing. What the things are showing. But people don't go. Also in the UK, apparently, if you got a cough and you got all the symptoms of coronavirus, they tell you not to be tested. Don't go to the hospital, stay at home. So that doesn't actually count for the number of infected. So it's quite funny what they're doing, because they're doing the same thing that China did, where they're not actually representing accurate numbers of the disease. Because I bet you there's a lot more cases than what's being reported. But because they don't want panic to spread, then they don't report those numbers. Which is not helping, because at the moment people are going crazy about it. I just don't get why. Why toilet paper? It makes no sense to me. Why would you go after the toilet paper? Why not tissues? I don't get it. Like I went to a supermarket and toilet paper was gone, like completely vanished, but there was still plenty of but hand tissues were still there. You know, like tissues that you blow into. I'll explain toilet paper in a second in game. Aye, nice one, my friend. I'll appreciate the toilet paper explanation, because I simply do not understand it. If like there was no more tissues to use and then people had to resort to toilet paper, then yeah, that makes sense. Because there's no tissues, which is the main thing that you use to clean your nose. Damn, that was a good fight. We just killed 500 of them without any issue. We lost what, 83 plus 12? Yeah. People are hoarding teleport because the Chinese said that the masks are made from the same material as toilet paper. So they ran out of toilet paper. Are you serious? And people buy toilet paper and sell it on eBay to them for 100. Oh shit! That makes a lot of sense now. That's really intelligent, actually. But it kind of, that might have been the initial intent, because think about it, okay? Most people don't know about that. I didn't know about that, so most people are not going to know about that, because I keep informed when she comes to shit like that. Probably banned from selling on many websites now. Okay, on many sites now. Okay, but it kind of evolved. Okay, it went from people just gathering toilet paper, and obviously because of that, ooh, Brasher's gone up. No thieves, and he's devoted. I'll give it to Brasher. Okay, so here's how it went. You needed, imagine you see these people buying toilet paper and toilet paper's running out, okay? So what do people do? Well, there's not going to be any left for us, so I'm going to buy some toilet paper while there is some left. And then people saw that and thought, okay, toilet paper is going to be in real need soon. So people are hoarding toilet paper, not because they need it, which doesn't make any sense for me either, but because they know they're going to run out soon. And that caused a catastrophic follow-up of events where people are now hoarding everything when there's no need for it. Like, it's not the... Yes, they made peace. Thank fuck for that. It's not like people are gonna need all these things, because China doesn't produce food, and Italy doesn't produce a lot of food either. China produces most of our not consumables, but like shit like lamps and plastic comes from China. Anything that's a product usually comes from China, and Italy usually produces most of Europe's plastic. I don't know if you know this, but a lot in the industry, a lot of the plastic, or if not nearly all of the plastic, comes from Italy. So with these two major companies that produced a large quantity of our a large amount of our economy depends on these two countries, them shutting down, the economy is going to crash soon if this shit doesn't stop. I hope this makes more people investing more in local businesses and production. Yes, same. I'm just happy that you told me that they've got a vaccine coming, because the economy is not built for withstanding this shit, and it just shows how weak the economy actually is. Like something this bit, I wouldn't trust that for a second, man. So that's why the World Health Organization also said we need to create herd immunity for this shit to work. I don't buy the coincidence BS for a second. Hey, I don't care, man. To be honest, I don't care if they did send it out. Well, it is possible that it is all a conspiracy theory, and what they've done is send this virus over to China, infect the whole world, and now they're the ones selling the medicine. It's basic business. You create demand and then you sell to curb that demand. It's basic business. Now, if it is a coincidence or not, I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not really that. It's too convenient to just be business. I mean, what is it then? Or a natural thing? What are your thoughts on it then? Because the world revolves around money. It being released just before the Chinese New Year festival, but the Chinese travel everywhere. Like I said, I don't know. If you got any evidence, that would be nice. but otherwise it still stays a conspiracy theory. There's plenty of it. Plenty of conspiracy theories everywhere. Should I give Korra to one of my peeps? Time is too perfect, and location too. Wuhang? Like I said, unless you got any evidence to support that, it's gonna stay a conspiracy theory. I'm really careful with conspiracy theories because I used to believe nearly everything I was told until I looked deep into it. And it kind of went too far when people started saying that the world was flat. Then I thought, okay, let me look into this shit, let me see if it actually is. I looked into it and it didn't make any sense. And then all the other conspiracy theories I heard about, I looked into them and none of them actually made sense. So ever since, I've been really careful around them. Because as long as it can be convincing, a lot of people just follow whatever you say. And it's not hard to be convincing, you just gotta believe yourself even if you're wrong. Wasn't there a thingy here? Guess not. I don't think hard it is showing up. Oh damn, I got Veluca as well. That's cool. Forgot I had that. Go sooner. See if I can sell. Yes, I can. Right, let's go build our morale a little bit. So let's go to Praven, drop off all of the important peoples. Let's take Manhunters. What are my Manhunters? Oh, Slaver Chiefs. Oh damn, that's not great. I'll leave the Crushers behind. I think 80 tricks is enough to take on anyone like that. I do need my thingy on. There we go. What are you playing at the moment? For Honor? Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, fair enough. My cousin's been playing that quite a lot, actually. It reminds me of, it started off as a weird FPS shooter, where I didn't know what it wanted to be, and then it kind of turned into a more interesting version of Counter-Strike. And this from someone who's been in a competitive team in Counter-Strike. Where you got your classes, and got all sorts of neat little perks. I've thought of playing it, but I made myself a promise that I would never buy a Ubisoft game ever again. So. A nose card? Where the fuck's a nose card? Is it one of these? Or is it one of the nods? Wait, what? Oh, okay, so they took them. Okay. I was getting a bit worried then. So is that one of mine? It's not been reported accurately, but no. So I'm gonna go after the nods. They usually have the best prisoners. Or them. Make some money along the way as well. I thought it'd be a bit busier on Sunday night. I guess it depends on who I'm competing with, doesn't it? So, I might create a poll, as in what games should I play after I'm done with this? As in, should I just make a new campaign with the mod? Should I play GTA 4 with friends whenever I'm playing with them? Should I play VR games? Because I do have a VR, it's downstairs. Or should I just do more of just chatting kind of thing? So it might be a poll that I create to see what I should play. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to play what I enjoy to play, but a bit of feedback doesn't hurt. God damn it, not the old pressed market. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on what I should play after, I'd be happy to give it a try. As long as it's something that I will enjoy. Like I'd love to play some Faster Than Light on stream. Because it's a game that I actually really enjoy playing. I'm not amazingly good at it, but I have in the past gained all of the ships and completed it multiple times on hard. Then again, I do have the VR downstairs and I wouldn't mind streaming that. It's a different computer. It does have a better CPU. Graphics card's not as great, but... Which reminds me, I might not be able to actually stream it. because of the graphic demand. Well, I'll have a look at it and see what I can and can't stream, I guess. Interesting timing. There we go. Yeah, let's make some prisoners. That's the main goal at the moment. It helps build my morale as well, which is something that I always struggle with in moments of peace. Then obviously my peeps will also be rested for the next war. At least that's the hope. And then I really want to finish off the Nords. I think that they're my main concern at the moment. Because they've got one city left and a few castles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 castles and a city. Sweden's have 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 castles. So it's easier to take out the Nords than it is to take out the Swedes. So that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. And then once the Nords are done, I'll get a few more people joining me, and then go for the Swedes, and finally have a big ass war against the Kyrgyz. Interesting. Why do I have Swedes with me? Huh. Don't remember taking them, but I guess I must have done. Can always deposit them in a castle somewhere. Yeah, I'll take everything. nothing good. Just jump most of the time. Okay, so I watched a TED Talk today. And it was a TED Talk about bonobos. Now, bonobos are a species of great apes like us. And apparently us, bonobos and chimpanzees are more closely related to each other than the African elephants are related to the Asian elephants. Because we're very similar. And what this lady showed us was her communicating with a bonobo. Now, she wasn't communicating with it by like doing gestures or anything. She was actually talking to it. And she taught the bonobo how to light a fire, but not with sticks and stones, because she didn't want it learning how to create a fire with sticks and stones. She gave him a lighter. So she'd just tell him, okay, like, this is like an old video, it's like 20 or 30 years old. The video that she was showing us. And she basically told him, okay, we're going to light a fire now. Can you get some sticks? Okay, with no gestures, very plain face, and very plain speaking voice as well. And he would go around and he'd gather some sticks, he'd break them into little things. And then she told him, okay, can you please go and get some more sticks, because that's not quite enough. And he went and got some more sticks. They picked up some paper, put it on top, and she told him, oh, okay, do you want the lighter now? It's in my pocket. And the bonobo looked at her and she said, okay, yeah, you can go and get it. So you went in her pocket, her left pocket, looked in her pocket, rummaged through her pocket, and then pulled out the lighter. Okay, and then he went over to the fire, or to the paper, and he lit the lighter, and he started the fire, and then he started smiling. Okay, that's really weird, because the bonobo was really interested by the fire, and he loved the fire technology. So that kind of showed us that she told us that when it comes to fire and things like that, it's not a biological thing. It is more of a community thing, a cultural thing. So we might have come across fire. One of our species come across fire. He loved the fire. Yes, he did. That's the interesting thing. He loved the fire. I guess you could say he was fired up. Wow. But yeah, you'd see him smiling while he was lighting the fire, and you glazed at it for a long time while the fire was on, because he's so interested about it. And if she knew that she could probably teach him how to with friction create fire, but she didn't want to teach him that, because imagine like a child. I'll accept my ban in grace. Like, they probably didn't want it teaching everyone how to make fire, and then suddenly the whole forest is on fire because they taught the bonobo how to make fire. So they took a few of them into labs, for research studies. Okay, so they took him in and they like did small experiments on him. So they got him to learn the lexical, which is basically symbols that they could write down, and they would have a meaning. Every symbol would have meaning. So like there'd be parts of the enclosure, parts outside that they wanted to go to, so they'd pick up a piece of chalk and they'd write it on the floor. And they found out that you don't teach them language, so to say. You don't actually go and say, oh, this is that. You speak to them and you show it them, and that way they learn a lot more naturally. Then the other interesting thing is, by the end of that video, he's playing Pac-Man. They got him an arcade machine, and he was playing Pac-Man. Now, he wasn't completely sure at the start what was going on, but she said, okay, now you gotta run away because they're after you. Okay, pick up the little big ball, and okay, now you can chase him. And you could see that he understood what she was saying, and he was playing Pac-Man. He actually completed like half the Pac-Man level. because he captured like half of the gold coins, and then he got trapped in a corner. And when you think about it, it's insane how closely related we are to them, and how intellectually advanced they are. Like, who would have thought that a monkey could play Bagman? Or not a monkey, a great ape. Then again, we are great apes. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. I love watching shit like that. And when he lost, he didn't become frustrated. He just started smiling, because even though he lost, he was fun to play, because he was like entertaining. He was entertaining himself playing the game. But what amazed me the most was the fact that she was communicating with him through language. So he understood language. He understood what she was saying. Maybe if she got into stuff that he never heard, he wouldn't understand, obviously. If she told him you need to go to the dentist, he would look at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? But obviously, words that she used a lot, and you could see exemplified in his environment, he understood. Like sticks, he knows what sticks are. And lighter, obviously he'll know what lighter is, because it's the thing that creates fire. And bonobos actually stand on their hind legs quite often. They can go long distances by walking like we do. Which again is amazing. It just shows that we're not actually that much different from other great apes, but from animals in general. Did you know that animals like dogs, cats, and parrots and stuff like that, any animal that's got a certain amount of intelligence can develop mental illness like we do? So yes, dogs can develop PTSD. A lot of dogs that come back from conflicts, like the Afghanistan conflict and all that shit, they come back with PTSD. It's not something that we think of. Like, you wouldn't think that an animal could have mental illness like we do. But what makes us some different from other animals? It's not like we have personalities and animals don't. If you own a cat or a dog or any other form of pets, you'll know that, yeah, they do have their own personality. Animals are not much different from we do. We're kind of hardwired the same way that they are. Sure, everyone's different, and everyone's got their own way of thinking, but when it comes to emotions and fight and flight response, we're all pretty much triggered the same way, because guess what? In nature, fight or flight response is really important. So it's no wonder that we all kind of come from the same, hardwired the same way to respond to the same kind of danger. So it makes sense that our depression and our anxiety can be shared with other animals. But it's not we always think of ourselves as special creatures. But I'm glad that nowadays we're making the shift that actually we're not that special, we're just different from them. But we all share the same common grounds. Apparently the bonobos, well, the chimpanzees, okay, they can be vicious. They're very territorial and they can be vicious. Yeah, they can commit. They can harm each other in really bad ways. But the bonobos are quite the opposite. They are really gentle creatures by nature. Yeah, that's another thing to think about. Like, where do we fall in? I guess we fall in wherever we want to fall in. Humans have always been very vicious. Yeah, we kill each other. You know, been killing each other for the longest time. Since anyone can remember, we've been killing each other, but why? It's not like we need to nowadays. It makes no sense to kill each other. Maybe in the past it did, because there would be some dickheads who'd come over and steal, and then you'd get really angry and you'd kill them because they kept doing it for a long time. But in nature, in war, even in war, okay, they say that we killed each other a lot, and it is true. Humans do tend to kill each other a lot, but we need to be trained to kill. Okay. You know, in medieval times, there was actually not a lot of people killing each other over law. That's not why people used to kill each other. They usually kill each other because they've been betrayed or because there was a lot of money involved. Money is an evil thing, but when it comes to war, there was no massive battles like you see in Mount and Blade where 500 against 500, well, 5,000 against 5,000, that wasn't a thing. Most of the times it was skirmishes that happened, where small groups of people who were travelling, obviously going to meet up with a larger group, and if they encountered someone on the way, then they would enter in small skirmish, but not a lot of people would die, because they were just trying to scare each other off. In World War II, most men in World War II didn't actually kill a lot. Well, that sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's true. Most of the times they would avoid conflict. They would, there was these reports of American soldiers, and when they landed, they would be going into a town, okay, and suddenly they saw the Germans also patrolling the town, and when they saw each other, they had weapons and everything. Christmas in World War One. Yes, that is a classic one. But when they were walking around the town, they saw the Germans, okay? So the first instinct that nowadays we think they do is, okay, so they like ducked and they started planning to kill each other. No, do you know what they did? This is a real report. They saw the Germans and they were like, it's like a group of 5 or 6 patrolling. And they were like, started shouting names to the Germans. And the Germans turned around and they started doing the same. And then they picked up rocks and they started throwing rocks at each other. And then they shouted some more words and then they parted ways. Yeah, they parted ways. And not at any moment did they think of, I've got a gun here, I can kill him right now. No, that's not how humans have always resolved dispute. It's only recently that we've turned to guns to resolve dispute like that. Only true genuine hatred can make man kill man without a second thought. Yeah, and that is how we've been trained, how soldiers get trained to kill nowadays. Okay, so let's talk about Vietnam War. They found after World War II that a lot of the shots that were being fired didn't actually hit. Okay, people were not aiming for each other. People didn't want to kill each other. So how does the army solve that? Because the main purpose of the army is to make troops deadly. Okay, they don't want people to fire around the enemy. They want people who see the enemy, they aim and they shoot without a second thought. And now do you train that? Well, before, the way they would make target practice would be on a silhouette of a man or simply dots, and they would measure the accuracy of your shot. Well, they changed that by the Vietnam War. They changed that to an actual image of a man rushing at you with a bayonet. And they trained the soldiers to shoot a man coming at them with a bayonet, on a picture of course. And what they found is that during the Vietnam War, a lot more men shot to kill. Yeah, so a lot more men were now shooting to kill. But not most of them. A lot of them, but not most of them. So then they created what is called now, there's a name for it. They depersonified, no, they dehumanized the enemy. And how do they do that? They don't give them names anymore. Instead of actually calling like the Afghanistan, no, they call it Al-Qaeda, and they paint a picture through propaganda of what the enemy is supposed to be. Okay, if we went to war with, let's say, this is completely theoretical, but let's say we go to war against a let's say Russia. Yeah, what they would do then is create propaganda to depict Russians as bad and as soulless as possible and try to dehumanize them. Try to make them not human. So you're not actually fighting against human now, or you're killing the Russians and they're horrible. They don't think. If they see you, they'll kill you, so you should do the same. And that's the picture that they will paint for you to be able to shoot someone. And that's exactly what the other country will do. There'll be propaganda to depersonify the enemy. Otherwise, people will not shoot each other. And the easiest way to resolve a war nowadays is to simply say, I'm not going. You'll get sent to jail, but because of laws, you are actually not gonna suffer all that much. In the past, maybe they'd put you in jail and then you'd suffer because they'd torture you or whatever the fuck, but hatred, as destructive as it is, can be the most powerful and helpful emotion. No. If you explain why, then I'll agree, but I don't think so. I think hatred just produces more hatred, just like violence produces more violence. Hatred produces vengeance, and vengeance is usually not a good way to respond to it. To anything, to be honest. So that's how they got humans to kill humans nowadays. Because before it was mostly a clash of morale. Even in medieval and Roman times, a lot of the battles were fought as a morale, with a big morale thing behind it. So basically, the person who had the best morale, the army who had the best morale usually won, because the enemies would just rout. But nowadays it's more of a, if the people see you, they'll kill you straight away. Armies have been trained to kill on sight without second questioning, which means we've trained our troops really well. But war in Bosnia, unarmed civilians fought back against an army and an encirclement. After the genocide took place, the aggressor pushed back. Yeah, but you're just fighting violence with violence, when in reality it should never have happened in the first place. So while it can, good things can come out of it, it's generally not true. Even when outnumbered and severely outgunned. Hatred prevented extinction. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we have hatred in our emotions. Because it's helped us survive. It's true, it's good things can come out of it. But if there was no reason to have hatred, I think it'd be a lot, the world would be a lot better place. If you didn't have to have hatred to have things happen, then that means no wrong had been done. And I don't see what the point of having wrong done nowadays. Like I said, I just don't see the point anymore. As well, okay, when you watch like sci-fi films or whatever, how many times is a space colony or a space empire, sorry, it's got their own planet, it's got divided people where people are fighting against each other? You never see that. Because to be able to expand, you need to first consolidate what you have. And once you're strong enough on the within, then you can go out and expand. Otherwise, if you're expanding without a strong, it's like building a house on a shaky foundation. The house is not going to last too long, because the foundation is shaking. So eventually it's just going to collapse on itself. So, and to allow humans to reach the next stage in our society evolution, to reach, you know, to be a galactic empire or galactic colonizing species, we need to solve our fucking differences. And most of those differences don't even make sense nowadays. Like religion, what the fuck's that? Why are people fighting over this shit? It's like a fight between my dad's better than your dad. That's legit what it looks like when I think about it. Well, my god is better than your god, and my god says that I should twat you because my god's better. Yeah, but my god said I'm better, so I'm gonna kill you instead. Oh, okay, then I'll kill you because my god's wait, what? Are they fucking... Are these people fucking serious? Even without war, hatred can be helpful. So explain, even without war, how's hatred helpful? Teach children to hate that which is wrong. Why is there wrong in the first place? If you hate something, you won't even consider it. Why not teach them to be objective about what they hate? Because how do they know that something's wrong? Because that's the kind of thing that they teach Muslims. Not Muslims, what the fuck am I talking about? That's the same thing they teach ISIS extremists. Yeah? Christians are wrong and their society is wrong. You should have hatred for it, so you should go and kill them. So they think we're wrong. So being wrong can be actually very subjective. So I'd say teach children to be objective, if anything. To have emotions, yeah, but when it comes to deciding what's right or wrong, to be very objective about it. Because if you think about it, why do people in ISIS and terrorists in general do what they do? It's because they hate us, or they hate the way things are, so they take steps to prevent it. Being objective to things led to toddlers being subjected to drag queen story hour. Common people can't be objective. But you can teach people to be objective. You can teach people to be like that. Because if I can learn it, then there's no reason why most people can't. Being objective is a state of mind. Just like learning fast and staying adaptable. It's a state of mind. Try teaching someone who buys everything he hears on the evening news to be objective. Yeah, but you teach kids about shit like this. You don't teach old dogs don't learn tricks, even though I don't agree with that. It feels like that most of the time. If only people who want to learn will learn. And this is not something you can change from one day to the other. This is something that's going to take generations. But you can definitely teach younger people on their way of thinking. It's an ethos. You need to teach people how to do things. And people, especially old people, they're the most dickheads when it comes to learning. They don't want to learn because they already think they know everything. So why should they learn? They've survived this long without learning, so obviously they don't need anything else to survive because, you know, it's worked for them so far. So anything that deviates from what they know, it mustn't be that good because they didn't need it. So old people are the worst when it comes to learning. Not all of them, again, there's always exceptions to the rule, but in general, old people are the worst when it comes to shit like that. But you can teach children to think objectively. And that doesn't mean have no emotions, like I said, but when it comes to making decisions and deciding what's right and what's wrong, being objective is definitely a plus. Not only that, it'll prevent shit like them being recruited to ISIS and everything like that. And it'll prevent people who are trying to manipulate them. It'll help them against that because they're not just going to look at what people say and take it at face value. They're going to be objective about it and they're going to do their own logical thinking and stop themselves from believing everything that's told to them. Which a lot of people nowadays don't do. That's why people believe anything they see on fucking Twitter and shit like that. Because people are not thinking for themselves. They get told what they think. Which is a very common thing that happens nowadays. Whatever they hear on TV or on Twitter, they believe it. That's why it's so easy to manipulate populations. They've been told that whatever they hear on television, and not on the internet, but on Twitter, if they hear it on Twitter, Twitter's reputable, so they must be true, whoever's saying it. Regardless if that person's got any brain cells or not, if someone says it. A stream at this day, you only lying to me. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Most teenagers now believe everything they hear. I used to believe everything I heard. Most people believe what they hear. In condition to trust celebrities and famous people, yes, because they've never been taught to think for themselves. The thing is, Google's made it worse, if anything. Because now, when you want to know something, I love Google. I love the age of information. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's amazing what we can do now, how empowered we are, that we can know anything at any time. But it makes it really easy for the misspread of information or fake news. It makes it extremely easy to spread fake news nowadays. Because all you have to do is post something on Twitter and now everyone believes you. Alright, regardless, all you need is a good following. Doesn't matter if they're all brain dead twats or not. And so yeah, it makes it really easy for people nowadays. They just look it up on YouTube, they see a comment, oh there we go, and they got confirmation bias. Because that's the way they think. If someone else agrees with them, then that person must be true. Confirmation bias. Regardless if it's true or not. That's why Flat Earth actually became a really big meme. Because people were looking around thinking the Earth must be flat. Let me just check online if anyone agrees. And people agreeing, and now suddenly they got confirmation bias. Bad, 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 bad. But I do believe in humans. We'll pull through somehow. We always do. And if we teach our kids to be objective when they're young and not get convinced easily, then they'll have a mind of their own, which is something we desperately need nowadays. Someone to have a mind of their fucking own. And not to listen to Twitter or celebrities. Because what they don't realise is a lot of the times whenever someone says something that's controversial and if someone's confirming their bias and they're being they're advertising something, they're the ones benefiting from them. If someone says, oh my god, you need to read my book that I just published because it tells you everything about this, you're just being sold a product. You're just being conned into buying that product. And a lot of people will just say, oh god, really? I'll buy it and see what it's about. Because it doesn't cost that much, you know. I mean, maybe they'll have some good information. You see that a lot on YouTube. Like 5 quick tips to become a millionaire. It's like, what? How many people believe it? Apparently a lot, because they usually get a lot of views. They get millions of views. So you've just been conned into providing something for the people who just conned you. Like Jake Paul's fucking how to be a independent person or how to run a business or whatever the fuck it was. All of it was just a con. And by the looks of it, not a lot of people bought it because it wasn't even a well-made con. So. But it's funny how he was targeting young kids. That's the main issue with that advertisement, is that they were targeting young kids on how to do it. Because that's what Jake Paul was all about. That was his main audience. That's why YouTube's going crazy over the copper policies and shit like that. Because that was their main audience. And then they go and show fucking someone hanging from a tree. Fucking dickhead, man. Just for the views. It just shows how soulless some people can be over money. Because deep down, that's all it's about. It's about the money. How much money they can make from it. Oh, another great thing about the bonobos that I didn't mention. They gave him a little box. Okay, it wasn't an actual box, it was more like a drum. You know, like a sound making drum. Okay. And the hide that was on the drum, that they stretched on the drum, was really thick. And inside the drum, there was some food for the bonobo. Okay. And they showed him the treat, they put it inside, they stretched the hide over it, and then they gave it to the bonobo. And the bonobo couldn't push through the drum because the hide was just way too thick. So afterwards, they showed him that they picked up 2 rocks and they bashed them together into creating a small flint out of the stone, and then they picked up another piece of hide and they cut through it a little bit. The bonobo learned that, and what the bonobo went and did, he picked up his own 2 rocks, he broke them into really sharp bits, again flints, and he started cutting through it. So the bonobo learned how to create tools, basically. They teach the bonobo how to create a sharp knife. And when they compared it to findings of ancient humans, how ancient humans made them. Obviously, they taught them how to do it, but the precision that they made was actually uncanny to what we used to do and what we still did. So it's really interesting shit like that. And then they gave him some musical instruments, and apparently the bonobo had seen someone playing the piano, the electrical keyboard, sorry. The electrical keyboard in the office while they're in that little closed room. So they saw someone playing the keyboard and they asked for it. And they kept staring at it and eventually they asked for it. And they gave him the electrical keyboard and he started experimenting with it. Like playing notes and playing little tunes by itself. It didn't make any sense, but he was really enjoying it. To a point where they gave someone else, another bonobo, a xylophone and gave him the 2 little things to hit the xylophone with. And they both started making music with it. And the researcher started dancing to the music and the bonobo was laughing. Yeah, he was going really, for crying out loud, these guys are so deadly. They started playing little tunes with it, and the researcher was dancing and laughing with them, and they were laughing back at her because they just kind of found the activity really, really funny. Yeah, it was really, really interesting TED Talks. I watched about 2 of them. One was about that, and the other one was about the meaning of the importance of having fun. Because fun is a serious business, as it was explained. The art of learning to play actually impacts our brain in a very important way. To develop a healthy brain, not just in humans, but in animals in general, you need a moderate amount of play. A lot of animals need different amount of play. So like mice, they play until they reach maturity, then they stop playing because that's how much their brain, get good. Yeah, exactly. They needed a certain amount of play. And once they reach maturity, they stop playing because their brain didn't think it was necessary anymore. Humans and bonobos and chimpanzees, they play their whole life. Because play is actually, like I said, a really important part of your health. And they found that people who don't play as much tend to develop Alzheimer's faster, which is, it gets diagnosed 50 years after it's actually started making damage, after you develop Alzheimer's. So between 30 and 50 years after you've developed Alzheimer's, that's when it starts to show symptoms, and it's usually too late. And they found that lack of play is actually one of the factors that affects Alzheimer's. So we should really, I've always been of the, I've always had the thought that we should teach kids through video games and through electrical technology. We need to teach kids about life, and we need to make them, I wouldn't say more intelligent, but we need to develop better games for children that they can learn better with. Because we're still teaching them how to play with fucking, obviously having 3D notion of things is amazingly important. Teaching them that a cube goes in a square hole, it's extremely important. That helps with brain development a lot. But apart from that and maybe some colouring games, we don't actually have a lot for children to learn with. We're pretty archaic when it comes to teaching children. And nowadays what parents do, they just give them a tablet and leave them to it. There's nothing interesting on that tablet. They shove them on YouTube and watch some stupid videos, and the child's just quiet because it's watching a novelty. But they're not actually learning anything. They're not developing their brain when it comes to motor skills, because all they're doing is swiping. They're not actually learning anything because they're just watching random YouTube videos who don't teach them anything. And their brain's not developing as well as it should, because it's got no proper activity to develop. And I think it's a wasted potential to not teach kids, to not leverage technology in our favour when it comes to shit like that. So you are saying we should let toddlers binge watch, bring to watch your streams? They wouldn't understand, so no. Definitely not. Toddlers should be either playing games that actually they'll be 20 years. They will in 20 years. Yeah, they'll enjoy my streams in 20 years. But at the moment, no, toddlers should definitely not watch my content, because it doesn't make any sense to them. When in reality, what they should be learning is practical mental exercises. Don't teach them Sudoku, because Sudoku's fucking shit. Teach them chess. Just Dance Your Name for a Change works for kids. Exactly. Like, how ridiculous is that it actually works for kids? Is that because that's what kids nowadays watch? It's just some silly songs on YouTube that make no sense, and they're just pure entertainment, not informational at all. And yeah, sure, that's what kids enjoy, but you enjoy what you get exposed to the most. Kids will enjoy what their parents enjoy because they copy. So if you teach your kid to play chess at a very young age, it doesn't mean he has to be a grandmaster. Yeah, that's not the point of teaching him chess. But chess is actually a very complicated game. It's not got the most complicated rules, but it's very deep. Teach your kids to play chess. Teach children the game of world. Yeah. But not the ones with the AAA. Alt F4. Don't teach them about the AAA gaming. That's fucking rubbish. Yeah, nobody wants to know about that. But teach them about games that are important. Teach them about card games. Teach them to think abstractly. Teach them Go, for crying out loud. The game of Go is one of the best games out there in the world. And it's been out for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And it's completely abstract. But it's a strategy game. So if you manage to teach your child how to think abstract, and you teach children how to think outside of themselves, obviously toddlers will not understand, because the terrible twos come about when children trying to get the grasp of their own emotions. So when they get really angry, they think, okay, because I'm angry, you must be angry as well. But why am I crying? You're not crying. That's just frustrating me because I don't understand. That's what the terrible twos are mostly about. They're getting to grasp with their own emotions. So every development age should have its own development games. How the fuck would you do that? I don't know. I'm not a fucking child expert. But there needs to be some kind of way of teaching kids these ways, especially in these things, especially in a day and age where the parents are too busy because they're working all the time. The mother's not got too much time to teach the child about stuff like that. WWE for toddlers. Yeah, WWE for toddlers. Teach them about emotions. Teach them about abstract thinking. Teach them about the arts. IRL. Well, we got so much power at our hands nowadays, and I just see it being wasted on social media. Still more worth the money than normal WWE. This is a tune, man. Rapture by a Jackknife. Damn. Let me not kill anyone, actually. And we see children as incapable animals. That's another thing that really winds me up. We don't seem to understand that children are just little people who see the world differently. And we normally brush them aside because they're young. What? Why? Why? I mean, weren't everyone a child at some point? Everyone was a child. So why are we brushing them aside? Because they are literally the future of the world. So why are they being brushed aside as, oh, they're too young, they don't understand. I teach my kids primarily about faith, history and science. Yes, please do. Everything else would come later. That's the other thing that annoys me, is that you're forced to put your child into school when they are 5 years old, 5 maybe 6. And they don't go there to learn how to be a human, they go there to learn how to be a worker. That's what they teach you at school. They don't teach you how to function in normal society. They teach you how to work. They teach you the maths so you can do the job that requires maths. They teach you history so if you want to go and teach, I guess, or if you want to learn from the past and how your country came to be, then that's really good for you. If you want to be like a president or prime minister, that's really good. They teach you grammar so you can read and write. That's completely fine, which you are going to need if you want to be a worker. They don't teach you about how to be confident, how to make friends. They don't teach you shit like that. They don't teach you empathy. They don't teach you nearly anything that you actually need to be a normal human being. They teach you sex ed, but the way they teach it is to prevent you from having too many kids. Parents should honestly show children those illustrative encyclopedias. I remember loving those as a kid. They were the bee's knees. Yeah. Here's the thing. They say it's a funny thing because parents say you should be teaching my kids about respect. You should be educating them, and then schools say no. You should be teaching your kids how to be respectful. You should be educating them. And then they kind of throw in the ball one to the other because nobody wants to teach them how to be normal human beings. The parents are expecting the schools to do it, and then when the schools don't do it, they come and rage and rant about it. And then when the kids misbehave at school, they come to the parents say your kid's a little shit. You should discipline him, but you can't hit him nowadays. You can't hit kids. It's a argument, I don't want to go into it, but you can't hit kids nowadays, so the kids do whatever the fuck they want because they're not going to get punished for it. And then they're throwing the blame to one and the other. The one I had at home had a picture of the constellation and the solar system. When you see the planets and stuff like that as a kid, it just blows your mind and you just want to learn more. Yeah, that's true. So obviously every child as well is different. You need to cater for your child's needs. So you can't have a school teaching kids how to be normal human beings. Yeah, but you can't have the parents do it either because the parents might be too busy. Because nowadays, and it's something I'm researching into, I've wanted to talk about this for a while, but nowadays the mum's too busy because she has to work to maintain the house. And so does the father, because nowadays you don't actually make enough money. Unlike in the past where one person could supply for the whole family, nowadays you can't. Which again, I've said, it is something I'm looking into. The reasons and how it started, and I've made some progress towards it, but I've not reached a final conclusion on it. Simply because I don't have the time. But morals should be taught at home. Yeah, anything that teaches you how to behave, you should be taught at home. Anything that allows you to further your career and become a sociable person in your world, and how can I say it? Become successful should be taught at school. Pushing women into the workplace was the most destructive thing to society since society, probably. Not because they shouldn't work, but because they just slashed the man's pay in half and made parents distance themselves from children. That's exactly what I'm looking into. And see, because I have that point of view as well, and it's, if you say that in public, you're gonna get slashed. You're gonna get slashed open by the feminists who say, "Oh my God, he's saying women can't work and women can't do anything." That's not the point. But what I've found so far, so I can share a little bit, as far as I know, feminist movement came from. It all started with World War II. Okay, so World War II came around, and World War II came after World War One. And in World War One was ended in 1918. World War II started in 1939. And for World War II, any man between the age of 18 and 40, I believe, was sent to the army because they needed troops. Yeah. So what happened was, anyone over 40 had actually fought in the World War One, because World War One was about 30 years before. So anyone who was 50 and above, 42 or 43 or above, had actually fought in World War One. So there wasn't a lot of people out there who were between 40 and 60, because all the men had, you know, been fighting in the war previously. So what they had to do is, by necessity, send the women into the factories. And there was a pushed there was propaganda to push women into factories. This is not like women were pushed into factories. Everyone knows that. The feminist movement is tied closer to the Frankfurt School, which is in turn tied to those who seek to destroy the idea of family in modern times. And I don't know about that. I'll have to look into it. But after, this is my opinion. This is what I've found so far, which might not be completely accurate. But so women are sent into schools, okay, and after that, not schools, into factories, okay, and after that, what they found is that, hold on, the women are doing, we as women are doing the same work as men. This is after the war's over, and we're not getting paid as much, because when they got hired during the war, where the wages were low, because they couldn't afford more, you know, to pay, because they would, all of their money was being spent in the war effort. So obviously women are not getting paid as much, and they're doing the same work as men. Okay, fair enough. So there was a movement that started with women should get paid as much as men, because women can do the job. Yeah, fair enough. But what they don't realize is, but by doing that, there were more women in the workplace, first of all, because women were cheaper, so obviously there are going to be more of them. And then what happened is, because now the woman and the men are earning for the house, when they ask, when you go for an interview, ask how much you need, you look at your wife's pay and you look at your pay and you say, man, I only need this much to survive, so I'll take, like, let's put a random number up, let's say $5 an hour, because my wife's $5 an hour, I'm on 5, that's $10 an hour, $10 an hour to support a house, yeah, that's fine. I'll take a job for $5 an hour, where previously you would have taken $10 an hour, because that's how much you need to support the family. So his wage is effectively being cut in half. Or let's say the women's getting paid less, so he'll say, I want $7 an hour, and the employee goes, yeah, but I can just hire a woman that's cheaper and she can do your job. And the man goes, well, okay, fair enough, I'll take a bit less. I'll take 6, and the employee's like, still a good deal for me, I'll take you. So the women are in general getting paid a bit less, but they do different jobs. So nowadays the gap doesn't actually apply that much as it did before. It still applies to a certain extent, but it's not as much. So yeah, now the wage is being cut by half, and now where before you'd only need one person to pay the bills for the house, now you need 2. And that influences our children a lot, because now children don't spend as much time with their family. What you'd see before is the mom at home taking care of the child and taking care of the house, which is a full-time job. There's no denying that. I can see that for myself, and I don't even have kids. Just taking care of the house is a full-time job by itself. With a kid on top, making a mess, yeah. But now what they say is, yeah, whatever. Once you have a kid, you can say 3 or 6 months at home, and then you can come back, and you leave your child in childcare. Do they know how much childcare costs? Not only that, replacing the mother with childcare, or whatever the fuck that might be, could be a school, could be someone private. It's not the same as having the mother around, disciplining them, the children, teaching them what to do and what not to do. So that's what I've found so far. I also looked at how much houses were worth back then, and compared to the annual salary of the 1950s, in America this is, compared to the minimum wage, was 4.5. Okay, 4.5 the annual salary. Nowadays it's up to on the 8.6. So now you got to work double for the same house that you got back then. And the reason is, back then you weren't pressured to own a house. Nowadays, a lot of pressure for anyone to get onto the ladder. Back then, there wasn't. You got into the ladder if you could afford it. Otherwise, you'd just pay rent. Nobody cared. Nowadays, people care, and that's pushed the need for the demand for housing has greatly increased. And back then, not only that, cars. Okay, let's talk about cars. A car would cost round about a bit less, but round about the same price as a one flat apartment. Okay, how silly does that sound? A car. But if you think about it, the cars were quite new, and they were quite a new technology in 1950s. It wasn't something that everyone had. And nowadays they're a bit more common. But nowadays you look at cars, they still cost a fucking fortune. But the houses are way too expensive. Because I can't get a deposit on anything. Even with the banks helping. Personally, I'm not pressured to get my own place, but I'd like to get that settled to be able to start a family whenever I feel like it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Even I feel this, where it's kind of not required, but kind of expected for you to have your own house before you can settle down and have a family. I feel it because that's exactly what I'm doing. Because I don't want to have a child and a family, a full-grown family, while I'm in this house, because it's too small. So I'd like to find a bigger house, but I'm not paying rent for it, because you end up paying more rent than what you do for the house. And not only that, 20 years down the line, if I'm still in that house, then if I've been paying mortgage, which is generally cheaper, but you do have to pay for the repairs on the house, etc. So it's kind of even at the moment. But at least at the end of those 20 years or whatever, you get to keep the house and then you get to sell it on. So there's a lot of benefits to doing it. But the problem is, we can't get that fucking deposit down early enough. Not with the amount of money we're getting paid. So yeah, from what I've seen so far, we've lost a lot of buying power. The individual, either that be man or woman or child, doesn't matter. The individual in general has lost a lot of buying power ever since there's been more competition for the position. For the positions, that includes men and DEU and everything pretty much. When there's more competition, prices drop. That includes for workforce. When you can get your employees for half the price somewhere else, you're not going to pay full price for them here. You're just going to go somewhere else and get them. Either that be outside the country, or that be women. If women are cheaper, you're going to get a woman to do the job, especially if they're better at it as well, which I've talked about. I've always said that women are generally better leaders than men are. Whenever it comes to doing social things as well, women are better at it than men are. Women are built naturally to be more sociable than men. That's why they're better teachers. We've talked about this. In general. Again, general. So if they can get a woman who does a better job than the man, they can get it cheaper as well. They're obviously not going to pay the man as much. So that man's buying power has decreased because now everyone's getting paid less. That's the other thing, is that when was the last time you got a pay rise based on what the fuck's it called? The money going up every year. Inflation. When was the last time you got paid a pay rise because inflation has gone up? Inflation has gone up. Because I don't remember. I never get paid because inflation's gone up. When really it should, because inflation's gone up means you're paying more for everything. So therefore your employer is going to pay more for what they buy, and they're going to charge more for what they sell based on inflation, because you know, if they pay 2% more when they buy stuff, they sell their stuff at 2% more. Hold on, but that 2% more should include you as a worker, because inflation, everything's gone up, but yet people are not keeping up with inflation. There's something wrong here. Why are pay rises not being affected by inflation? Ah, something very dodgy there. US dollar is on permanent inflation, and since the US has great economic pull, that's trouble for everyone else. Yeah. Same with the euro, same with all currencies nowadays. Since the US has to pay for money being printed. Yeah, because they don't own the banks. The banks own them. Yeah, but that's the same with since the Federal Reserve is actually privately owned. Yeah, I know that. But same with most banks, most currencies in the world. That's why inflation happens. It happens in the UK as well. It happens in Europe. Inflation affects everyone in the world. But why is pay rise not being accounted into inflation? So what does that even mean? What does inflation even mean if the people who are paying inflation don't actually get paid extra? It just sounds like a way to make people worth less, if anything. Because they can say, oh, because of inflation we can't give you a pay rise. No. Because of inflation, that's exactly why you should give me a pay rise. Oh boy, maybe it was a bad idea to mess with these motherfuckers. At least I'll get loads of money out of it. Yeah, the Federal Reserve is just as federal as FedEx. It's the same meaning. You know, Federal Express. It's the same meaning. They're just as federal one to the other. Yeah, it's conversations like this that I really enjoy having. But here's the thing, I don't think that introducing the woman to the workplace was a bad idea. Because like I've said, I do believe that women in general are better at certain things than men are. What I do think is wrong is that they got taken advantage of and they think it's a good thing. Because in reality, if the woman can do the job as well as the man can, then they should be getting paid as much as men do. So basically, instead of saying, okay, women are now getting paid less, so the men need to get paid less to catch up, you know, to even it out. No, the women should get paid more so they can support a house by themselves. So like the men back in the days could. But that's not what happened. What happened is they just got taken advantage of, and because back then people were more illiterate than what they are now, they just saw that as a good thing. Oh, we're both working now. We're not making as much individually, but as a couple we are. Yeah, but you're trading your time in for money. So you're actually, in total, having a lot less time for less money, which is a very bad thing. And companies are laughing all the way to the bank. It has allowed for the world to become a lot more industrialized and things to become cheaper, because obviously workers are getting paid less. But like I've mentioned before, as a individual, our buying power's gone out of the window. We can't afford anything anymore. Whereas back in the day, someone on my wage could probably afford a car and a nice TV and a house and a mortgage. I can't afford any of them things. I can afford a TV. TVs are actually really cheap compared to back then. But I can't afford a mortgage because I don't have that 10% deposit that they asked for. Back then you could get that 1% deposit within, what, half a year of saving? Nowadays, in America, it is estimated that for the average house, that takes in consideration mansions as well, which is a bit of a iffy. But for the average house, someone needs to save between 5 and 10 years for that deposit, the average person. 5 to 10 fucking years, depending on the wage they're on and their location. So it's definitely a topic worth exploring, but like I said, I need more numbers. I need to crunch some more numbers to get an actual detailed reading on what's happened since, because it's never just a cause of one thing. That's not the full reason why we can't afford anything anymore. There's many, when it's a topic that broad and that's gone on for that long, there's usually multiple reasons why things are the way they are. And I don't think that bringing the woman into the workplace and making the man less relevant when it comes to earning is making the man financially independent enough that he can support a whole house, and then bringing the woman in, because who says that the woman didn't start working after that because they needed to, because things were too expensive? Because don't forget, after the war things will be expensive because the country's now in debt because they've had to buy all these weapons and the industries adapted to war, so they're gonna have to switch back. A lot of industries are going bankrupt because obviously they're not producing ammunition and weapons anymore, so they need to switch again. So there's a lot of what's in my face? Forgot the fucking word. Complications in the economy after the war's over. So who says that the woman didn't start doing those jobs because they needed to, because it was too expensive? So there's always two sides of the coin. So that's something that I definitely need to look into, the numbers of how much things cost after the war, how much things cost a few years later on, how much people in general are getting paid. And then when I've got all the numbers, then I can come to a genuine conclusion about this. And then get flogged on the spot and hanged for saying that, for being so controversial. Because nowadays you're not allowed you don't have freedom of speech anymore, because you'll just be hanged on the spot for disagreeing with what everyone says with, and then the cancel culture will just come after me. Thankfully, I've only got 51 followers, so I don't have to worry about cancel culture. Should I declare war on someone? Because nobody's declaring war on me. And I feel like the Nords have had it way too easy for way too long. Cam. Thank you! Thank you very much, Hardy. How long's it been like that for? I should probably display something on my screen whenever my cam's off, just to remind myself if that thing's on, then I should probably turn the cam back on. Lord Nuance? Yes, please. Okay. Right. Kaitele, let's declare war on someone. Right, let's take care of the Nords really quick. Not with these armies though, not with these troops though. Minus the garrison, drop everyone off and take my trusted troops, which are not them. I guess I'll take anything that's not a knight for now. I'll just recruit on the way there. I think that's healthier and safer. So recruit everything and go after the castles that are down there first. The Chalbeck Castle. Finish that thing off. Sargoth. Ouch. Didn't want it to have to be this way, but they don't leave me a lot of options. Let's go. I can't even go to Meshin because it's Nords. Hopefully by the time I get there, I should have a... shouldn't be too many. Oh boy, that is too many actually. Yeah, I'm definitely not defending that. Okay. I'll just take this and then need to put my siege gear on. There we go. Take this instead, at least for now. And then take Sargoth back. It's a lot of arrows, man. Why are they all targeting me as well? Stop it. Oh, dude, seriously, stop it. That's it. So yeah, there's always two sides to the coin. A huge problem is that free speech in the West has become completely restricted for high-paying positions. No. No. It's not that free speech has become restricted for high-paying positions. It's that you don't get as much attrition when you say something. So if you're a high-paying position, if you're like a CEO or you're someone with a lot of followers on Twitter, when someone says when you say something, you don't get criticized as much. So you can still say whatever you want when you're someone like me, but if someone hears you and doesn't agree with it, you're gonna get, like I said, flogged at the stake and hanged because you don't agree with the majority of people. Like with the argument that I had with a person on Twitter, because I gave her all the reasoning and I gave her all of the proof of what I was talking about. At the end she said, why are you being so aggressive? It's Sunday night, I just want to chill out and you just want to have a row. It's like, well done, no, I'm not being aggressive. I'm just trying to educate you. It don't even matter if you have a lot of followers or not. You can lose your job and have problems finding a new one. Restrict opinions and talking about things publicly is effectively restricting thought. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're completely right. If you can't talk about something with someone, you'll eventually think of it less and less. Yeah. Legit. You're completely right, yeah. So, it's not like, but you can still say whatever you want. Yeah. You're just gonna get criticized for it. While if you're a celebrity or if you're a minority, you usually get away with it. With saying whatever you want to say. Because think, oh, you're a minority, I should probably not criticize you. Because then I'll get flogged and I'll get burnt at the stake. Which is just a self-feeding loop. Because you can't say anything against those people, and those people can say whatever they want against you. Because if someone says something against them, then they're fucked. And the terrifying thing is that people are forbidden from talking about real issues. Yeah. That's why I've got a gap in the market right now for this kind of shit. Because nobody else is talking about it because everyone's too afraid of it. Because I'm not brand safe, for example. Because of the things I talk about. I talk about very controversial things, and I think things that need to be talked about, while most people are afraid to talk about it. And I don't care talking about it, because at the end of the day, what they're going to do, put me in jail over it, over free speech? It's not like I'm promoting hate speech or anything, so they can't. I probably won't make as many followers talking about things like this, but do I give a shit? Not really. I've got a full-time job. I can provide for myself. So I'm not afraid. Well, if you think about it, if you're someone big who's depending on this source of income to survive, you're not going to be thrilled with having a bit of risk this big talking about things like this. So you don't, because you're risking losing your job, the thing that pays for your bills. And if I was in their position, I'd do exactly the same. If I was depending on this to pay my bills, then I wouldn't talk about it, because I don't want to risk getting banned. But because I'm not, I am free to say whatever the fuck I want. Win-win situation for everyone. That's the reason some people have resorted to Patreon when they do want to talk about things like this, because even if they get banned from their platform that they do their content on, the Patreon will keep them supported. So even in the next YouTube ad apocalypse, it doesn't matter for them, because they now got Patreon as a revenue source. But I don't want to build like a reputation simply on the fact that I talk about controversial things. I want to be informative more than anything. There's some people who thrive off talking about controversy. I don't want to be that kind of person, because I don't think it's a healthy look on anyone. If that's the only thing that you talk about, then you need to be really careful who you make enemies with. As in, you could be making enemies right now that you think are the wrong people, that you're slagging off, and then turns out those people actually do a great thing. And now you just made enemies with them. Because you're talking about something controversial that they did, when in your eyes you thought it was a bad thing. For the greater of everyone, it was actually a good thing. So you always need to be careful what you talk about and how you talk about it. And if you're just doing it for clicks as well, your audience will notice, actually, this guy's not actually talking about these things because they're important. He's just talking about them because he needs the clicks. That's where you get really clickbaity titles from. Right, I'm gonna get a drink while this is on. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. the siege not over yet? Oh, I didn't put any hair gel on my hair today. There we go. Cam's still on. Wonderful. See the death, 70 and 500, damn. Actually lost a lot of people in that siege. Take anything that's a Vega. Because they don't get affected by morale. Because I'll never be at war with the Vegas or the Rhodoks, because they don't exist anymore. So it's safe to take them. Same with the Swadians, really, but... And the Saranids. I can take Saranids as well. Kyrgyz, kind of, even though that I might get in war with them, it's very unlikely that they will. Manhunters, damn right. Yeah, everything else I'm leaving behind. Take those things. And that can go to... Sure. Already? Just leveling up some troops really quick. Pulling my knights up. My plan is to defend Talrog Castle first. Ah, shit. I lost a good opportunity. And then go for these guys. 160 against whatever that was, 700. With a bit of tactics, I can take a lot of kills for our side. I just need a bit of tactics. So what's my... It looks like I've got more infantry than anything. So we'll hold on the hill. And cavalry and slave makers can come with me. So fighting on the hill, it's the best thing that we could do right now. I see a lot of Kyrgyz. It's not good though. Still losing way too many troops. We need a 7-to-1 ratio, so every 7 of them that we kill, one of them can die, and we're not obtaining that ratio right now. So I'm actually gonna abort and leave because nobody else joined me to fight this. It's a bit of a shame. You, what are you doing? Is he not scared by me? There we go. Now he is. Let's help these guys. We can win this one, no. This one's a bit easy to win because the even numbers. No, I don't have my gods with me. I've only got 2 of them. Should be okay. Flank him with the cav. Get them to waste some of their arrows and projectiles on the troops. Then they're charging, so that means we can charge as well. Now we're gonna catch a lot of the archers from the back. It should be easy kills. Ouch. It's looking good for us though. Ouch. Hurting my horse. That Mamluk needs to die though. It's not looking so good anymore. But the numbers are even. So it's okay if I do lose a few troops. I do need to take care of that Mamluk though. There we go. There we go, finally my horse is down. Blunt weapons hurt them, man. Oh no, that's piercing. There we go. Alright, let's sit in numbers. Yeah, we're fine. We're golden. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect him to actually come from behind me. Thought my troops would take care of him. Right, it's a pretty even fight at the moment. But with a bit of luck, our cav should do some good work here. That's what I'm trying to leverage the battle on. It's the cav advantage, which you don't seem to have anymore. Ouch. It's not looking too good, you know. Not looking good at all, actually. Okay, we got raw dogs on the field at least. Based how spreaded they are, the raw dogs should have a good advantage against them. If you like strategy games, try Rotom 2 with Divide It Impair mode. I think I do have Rotom 2. And yeah, I do like strategy games. I don't have enough time for video games nowadays, that's my only issue. The time that I do have free, now I spend it streaming. Because this is time that I've put aside, so I've got my full-time job, I get home, and if my girlfriend's working, then I'll come on stream. I don't play. I mean, I play on stream, and then my girlfriend comes home, I spend time with her, and then we go to bed. Because that's time that I value. Otherwise, if my girlfriend's not working, then again, I come home, I make dinner, or dinner's made, one or the other. And then I come on stream later on. I sacrifice a bit of time with her, and I come on here. So I don't have a lot of time for games nowadays. Best antique strategy game I've come across. That means it's midnight for me. I've always got an alarm set. I don't know why, I just have it. I think it's to remind me. You're men with unwavering loyalty. Better than women. Okay, I don't get that reference, but okay. I believe you. Ooh, exactly 35 prisoners. I was close. I think that I need to rest now. Or just take Sargoth. I think Sargoth's a good option as well. Depends how many troops we have left. Oh, we got plenty left. This is what I don't get. It's like, hold on. They just took the city and they already have more troops than what my city had. After an extended period of peace. Abandon siege. Oof, that's not great, that. Do we dare? Okay, so they want to fight. My siege gear is on. We shall fight. See how many balls they actually have, or if it's just talk. Oh boy, that guy got in a pickle. But thanks to my Swadian gods, we actually have a really good chance of fighting them. Take my cleaver. We can chop some meat. It's 1 AM here. I've got to get up in the morning for some online lectures before the shooting range. See ya, man. Have a good night. Aye, my friend. See you later. You have a good night as well. Ooh, this is gonna be nasty. This is gonna be a really nasty fight. I'm gambling everything away with this fight, pretty much. I'm hoping that I can make a difference with again with the knights. But I need to charge onto them and take their knights out before they can do any damage. Which I'm not succeeding very well at. Yeah, it's not going too well, is it? Too much red for my liking. It's these motherfuckers here, that's the problem. There we go. Missed that one. I've gone into a death pit. Please take me out of it. Ouch. Please remind me not to jump in death pits without thinking about it. Missed. Really can't miss much more. There we go. These guys are so fucking deadly, the Mamluks. It's unbelievable. So I've lost plenty. About 150, which is about half my army. I think the issue is we're all too split up to actually be doing any decent damage. So I'm gonna regather everyone, pretty much. What? Now we can go again. Now that everyone's gathered up. We can now do full damage again. My horse is so slow. Could nearly walk as fast as this. Oh boy, I'm on the floor. I'll be okay. Oh boy. Ouch, that guy blocked my attack. Okay, retreat. Yeah, we're leaving this. Okay, let's loot Telrock Castle. I'm actually not that bothered about that. Why is he following me? Oh, because I got no troops, that's why. That would make sense. Wait until tomorrow. Can I take it? Do I risk it? Yeah, nobody's risking this. So this campaign has been a failure overall. Yep. I need to pull back and bring in some heavy troops, which means going back to Praven. Now Tyr is under attack as well. Okay. I see how it is. Right, you can go in there. No, these are okay. These are okay, these are okay. Actually, most of these are okay. Pretty decent troops. What I do need to take is, where are my gods? There we go. Now let's leave these bad boys behind. Just give these away. And let's get some sharpshooters in here. Not that many though. Oh. Let's take 100 knights and the rest sharpshooters. Okay. That should be enough to fight anyone. See if I can sell these actually. Nope. So I guess they're just gonna get dropped off in there. Come on. Should be a give all option. Let's go. Yeah, I can take these guys on. Oops. Because if I take Ragnar out of the battle, then capturing Sargoth will be a lot easier. So I'll have no opposition. Fighting on the hill is actually not ideal, even if we are going down it. But now the fight takes another face. It's another great way of taking care of these guys. Go full Swadian gods and that should stop them. It's very hard to resist the slaughter. We good? There's only 2 left. Oh, it's just that guy there. Okay. Still 44 left. That's okay. We can deal with that. There we go, beautiful. Shame is, I can't even take these sharpshooters. Oh well, guess we'll have to live without them. I'll leave them and I'll take the sharpshooters actually. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Right, next. Gonna abandon siege just so I can equip these and we can now target them. And hopefully take Sargoth back and then take the other castle and then just steamroll this shit. Too high. Too high. There we go. I'm assuming that most of their troops are going to be low tier. At least that's what I'm hoping for as well. Dude's juking me left and right. There we go. As long as no Sweden Knights die, I don't actually care what happens. Because I know it's going to be extremely hard for them to come back from this one. Aim skill minus 200, I know, right? Can't hit shit. It's not that I can't aim for shit, it's that compared to my normal aim, it's pretty low. Come on, do your work, archers. Why are they not shooting? Come on. Got the perfect angle down here. Oh, because they don't have any arrows. Doing a lot of work though, that's for sure. Anyone else? No, just them. Just that one. There we go. Not that many deaths. Take the crossbowmen. The archers as well, and the veterans. I think that's the best decision. There we go. I will give it to Noas, because he seems to be crying a little bit. Ooh, bodkin arrows. +3. That's pretty good, man. Mine are better. Do I need any food? Yeah, anything but bread. Cheese is okay. Right, let's go to Telrog Castle now. My cleaver. We're gonna be turning to butchers. Oh, come on. Oh, I need to take that guy out. Not the... Damn, these nods are pretty deadly, man. Uh-oh, they're fighting in the river. Can we tell them not to? That was good. Hey, no problem. Nobody died, which is not great for me. I mean, yeah, it's okay actually. My troops are pretty high level, so I'm not actually going to cry about that. Yeah, I'll take everything. Now, let's do what I wanted today. Yeah, siege garrison, the siege castle. Yeah, let's hope that taking the castle's a bit easier than what it was last time, because I lost like 500 troops, I think, or 600. I don't think I can afford to lose again that amount of troops. It seemed that we managed to push in just fine. It's just that when we got inside the castle, their archers, being where they were, did a lot of damage. So it seems like it's actually better if we don't push in all the way. Wait, it didn't die? I'm just so used to killing people with an arrow that when I don't, I'm actually surprised. Especially when they got shit armor. And I killed him as well. Ouch. So it feels like, as long as I can push in, then I'll be okay. I just need to be able to push in. Spread them out. Send the archers in as well. Oh, come on. Come on, push in, push in, push in. And hold the archers here. We got... Yeah, it's these guys here that are doing a lot of damage. Even though they're pretty shit archers, they're still doing a lot of damage. There we go. God damn it. Second one I kill. We good? Yeah, we're very good. So we didn't lose that many. It's 21. So it's okay. I'll take all of the things. Morale's still very high, which is great. Yeah, I'll take whatever. Doesn't matter. Now I'll give this to someone else. To Russia, I guess. Mattel's not happy with me. Oh, I guess something she's gonna have to live with, isn't it? Well, let's take Ismaila Castle, if possible. No, it's not possible. Or is it? No, 122 Oscal? Yeah, definitely not possible. Not with the amount of troops that I have, anyways. I mean, it could be actually. Even though with the 100 and whatever or skull that they have, I think I'd stand a good chance with 500 odd troops. Oh, come on. I just keep killing my own troops. This time the guy that I was aiming at died and they went straight through him and killed the guy that was on the other side, which is mine. Yeah, I've told it to charge. Stop coming towards me. Is that it? Guess so. Sergeants, yes please. Let's go. Not a lot of troops that. I was hoping I could amass a few more to be able to fight these, but Jalbergi would be nice to have, actually. Is anyone gonna follow me from around here? No? Guess not. How about from here? No? Seriously? Nobody's willing to fight for me, I guess. They're back in Sargoth. Awesome. Just what I needed. Against that amount of troops, I don't even know if I can. Very hard decision to make. I can defend that. Guess not. I can win this fight though, that's for sure. Then I can take Sargoth back when my troops arrive. I don't know how they have so many, to be honest. Especially when they have no cities. They have 1 city and 10 castles, was it? How did they mass this amount of troops? I am not too sure. By the way, how come you use the cleaver? I don't have enough space for the prisoners. God damn it! It's the 3rd time that I've hit my own. I don't have enough space for prisoners, so I don't see the point in making any more. And also, I'm loaded when it comes to money. I've got 150k on me. Feels bad, man. Yeah, the cleaver's okay if you need money and you need the prisoners. I don't need either. Yeah, once you add the money. Once you also had the money, yeah. And then I start using a blunt weapon to make prisoners. Now that I do have the money, I can use a better weapon, which is the meat cleaver. And when I run out of money again, then I'm gonna do exactly the same. Ouch! That hurt. So yeah, we need to adapt based on what's happening. The cleaver's a better weapon than the mace is, because it's like 40 cutting damage, while the other one's only 30 blunt damage. There we go. Easy peasy battle, man. Easy peasy battle. Oh, there's more? Okay. I ain't mad. I ain't mad. We can go. See if I can hit anything from here. No. Their shields are up. I can't hit anything, man. Come on. Too late. Don't need to. Don't need to hit anything when you got some sweaty knights on your party. They'll do the hitting for you. Take the knights. Ooh, that's a lot of marksmen actually. Yeah, I'll take some as well. And I'll take all of the things. Wait, how many in the town? 16? Can even take that by myself. And they still killed one. God damn it. We good? No, killed another one. Take the city back, give it to someone else who's crying. Just rinse and repeat. Until nobody else is crying. Azugan's really pissed off with me right now. Is that why he's not following me? I think that's why. We can take this. At a cost, but we can take this. Yep. Is that someone else? Nope. Let's go. Oh, Ragnar is here. Well, he was until he got shot, but... Where things are looking, it's looking good for now. Because our archers just way stronger than Nord archers. They're pretty good at defending walls though, gotta give them that. You can see how much damage they're actually doing. Based on that kill feed. And most of the kills are actually the Orskals. They're right at the front. Well, if we carry on going, it's not gonna look too bad at the end. So let's stand a bit closer, in general, to the wall and to the enemy. And to each other, I mean. some great things might come out of this. So let's stand back a little bit. Let's let the archers do some work. Because now they don't have any way of killing us down here apart from that one archer up there. You I can't seem to hit. There we go. So they got more reinforcements. I'm assuming some more archers. It's usually how it goes. But thankfully your archer's superior to whatever they have. Now as you can see, the front of the walls is empty. So that means we can push in for a little bit. We should be able to take those walls. And I just killed someone else on my team. I just keep killing my own troops today. There we go. We're in. Taking the walls is the hardest part. Once you take the walls, everything becomes a bit easier. Because you're fighting on even ground. You're not being funneled anymore. Still gotta do the hard job of killing Norskal, but... well, somehow you need to make sure you take your time before Bannerlord starts. Wow. You say, yeah, I need to do what I normally do and just overthink everything? That sounds about right. That's what I tend to do. Ooh. No, I don't want them. I want the mace. Yes. Well, I'll just kill your units. Totally calculated. Damn, they're doing a lot of damage, these guys. I don't know if this shield's gonna hold. Because looking how many I've got to kill still. Yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna hold for too long. It's a good job I'm faster. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Nope. Running away from the Urskal. That was scary, man. Urskals are so dangerous. So is this a lost siege? Now that I can't control my troops either? Reinforcements have arrived. At least that's that. Now I'm just fighting against a mass of Pascal troops. We all know how that story ends. It was bad enough against the sharpshooters, Rodok sharpshooters. But as soon as they hit this part of the wall, it's pretty much a losing battle. Because they got way too many axes swinging up and down. At least they're getting unconscious and not dead. Actually, my Swedish knights are doing a job, man. Certainly doing a lot of damage. Those nods though, they're just deadly motherfucking beasts. But regardless how it ends, at least we weakened this castle that we can now take. See, if I had control over my troops, I'd tell them all to pull back right now and let the archers just wreak havoc on their lines. Because it's all fun and games until you got 20 sharpshooters hitting you with bolts and your shield doesn't last longer than 5 seconds. Yeah, Hardy, I was thinking, once I finish this campaign, which I probably will before Bannerlord comes out, should I start a new campaign with a mod? Should I switch to GTF4 or maybe Faster Than Light, or should I play on the VR? Because I do have VR that says I could stream from that computer instead. VR sucks to watch. Not necessarily, there's some quite fun games that you can play on it. Like, have you heard of Sword and Sorcery? Or Blade and Sorcery, sorry. Blade and Sorcery. That's quite a fun VR title. It's not that boring to watch. I think we're gaining some ground actually. VR is okay to play, but it really looks shit. Like PlayStation 2 era games. Yeah, so does Mountain Blade Warband. It just depends what settings you've got them on and what game you're playing. Like Pavlov's a really fun game, I used to be really good at it. Got invited into a team actually. But I told him I don't have the time for that. There's also this game called A Township Tale. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a VR game, and it's an MMO RPG. Hard to tell. You'll need to look at what you want to do. Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's permanent. That's the only issue with it. Sad because I'll be streaming Bannerlord, and I'll be playing Bannerlord a lot. I can't simply switch my genre completely and play something that completely doesn't resonate with people. So, for example, Blade and Sorcery would be a title that resonates with people because it's in the same style as Mount & Blade. And guess what? Well, guess what my favourite weapon is on that game to use? Well, you can. Everyone will play and watch Bannerlords. Yeah. Even COD kids know Bannerlord. Yeah, that's true. So my favorite weapon, actually my favorite weapon equipment in that game is a shield and a spear. You just cannot beat it because it feels like you're playing it, you know, like you would, where you got your shield, you got your spear. You can't be touched because anyone who gets even remotely close, it just gets stabbed in the gut. And if they get too close, you just shield bash them a little bit, and then you go for an overhead spear. Or if they're really close and you can't just bash them, you can always just turn the spear around and give them a little knock on the head with the back of the spear. Well, spears are good as long as there's no armor. Yeah. I mean, if they got shields, it's a bit tricky as well to use the spear, but you could always just stab their feetsies where they got their shield up thinking they're really badass, and you just stab their feetsies when they're not looking. But spears are really useful because you can always penetrate. You don't have to go for the full armor. Yeah, if they got really heavy plated armor. I know this is real life, not in the game. In the game it doesn't matter. But in real life, if they got really good armor, you can always just stab between the gaps in the armor. You can always aim for that. The spear is really good at finding those spots. We actually took the castle. Damn. Well, other polearms are better than the spear. Yeah, of course they are. The halberd was a favourite weapon to deal with shit like that. And with the halberd, armies went back to fighting in formations. We lost a lot of people on there, man. Hey, Sword Sister. Knights and guards and marksmen. Damn right. And where's the sergeants and the... Oh, there isn't any. I'll take the Mamelukes though. The Lancers? Damn, it's a lot of good troops. Oh, I really want these Urskal even though they hurt morale. There we go, sharpshooters. Horse archers, yes please. Tyranid guards, yeah, better than nothing. I'm just gonna take nearly everything until I fill up. Swordsman, sure. Horsemen, sure. Infantry, sure. There we go. We're full up. Who needs a castle? You need a castle. Right, you all gonna go back home now? Yeah, you're all tired from the war. Oh, you're not. Awesome. So now I think it's Jalbegi Castle. I think that's the other target. I'm gonna have to leave that for another day, I think. Or maybe not. Let's go Sargoth, see if I can sell these fuckers. Yes, I can. I can sell all of these. Oh, that's really good. Oh no, it's battered. It's not that good. Oh, he doesn't have the money. Okay, never mind. We'll buy some food off you though. Just in a minute though. There we go, you can afford everything. Awesome. Now let's see if I can take Jalbegi Castle. I'm not gonna need more troops than this, so. Notice me, senpai. Follow me. I need followers. People who are willing to die for the cause. Anyone? There we go. Julie doesn't like. So what games do you have on your mind to play for the rest of the time? I was thinking so VR games are one of them. I was thinking games like either another mod for Mountain Blade or GTFO, because I do have friends who want to play it. I was thinking Sea of Thieves, because I actually enjoy playing that game even on solo. Or games like Faster Than Light, games that I know how to play. So those are the kind of games that I'd go for. I like Sea of Thieves, nice to watch, pretty chill. Yeah, exactly, and you can have some nice conversations while waiting for the hard parts of the game to happen. Like the interesting parts of the game to happen. And the time between the interesting parts and the idle parts is not that great. Fuck's sake, why is my morale so low? Oh, it's because of the nodes, isn't it? Disband. Also, I had an army behind me. What happened? Legit, they're all just disbanding anyways, my troops, at this point. Is it because my controversy is over the fucking roof? Wow, okay, that's a lot of troops that I'm losing right now. Not that I can't afford them, is I don't want to lose that many troops, especially high tier. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind playing Sea of Thieves. It's a quite nice game, it's chill like you said, and you do get into some really heavy combat at points, and it's quite interesting to watch. So my chats that I enjoy doing, I could do it while traveling to places, and then when it gets intense I can go quiet because I'll be needing to focus. GTFO is not a long time thing. If you get a group it's nice, but it's hard to get 4 people at a standard group. Yeah, it is. I do agree with that. Especially because you'll need either 4 friends from the same time zone, or you will need, if they're not in the same time zone, then it's pretty hard to organize. I need the victory here because my morale's shit. And I don't think I'll get a victory here, actually. $64 cav, that's plenty actually. It's plenty. Because we're talking about Sweden's and Vega Knights. They're both really decent troops. I say that and Vega Knight just dies. So yeah, another game would be Faster Than Light, because you can take the game slow and you can enjoy it. It's one of my favourite type of games where you can plan things out, you can take a sweet ass time with them. And if you do, you kind of get rewarded for it instead of rushing into things. And with Sea of Thieves, I've got friends who play it as well. So it's not like I'd always be playing alone. Not FTL, only weird people watch that. Nah, FTL's nice to watch if you got the patience to watch it. And if you understand the game, then it's nice to watch. Otherwise, people don't tend to watch FTL because it's quite a weird game, like you said, to watch. It's very boring to watch if you don't know what the fuck's going on. It's for nerdy people, I guess. I need to get away because I'm so low. And for nerdy roleplay dudes who never left the home for once. Wow. Why so rude, Ada? Why so rude? It's not their fault they're virgins. Well, it is, but you get what I mean. Realistic view. They were born virgins, right? Leave them alone. I swear they were born virgins. I think we might have won this actually. Thank fuck for that. So I believe this is a Siege of Sargoth broken now, thankfully. With the Siege of Sargoth broken, that means whoever was there is gone. I think there was like 7 or 8 people, 8 lords sieging the town. I've realised that a lot of my companions have become like beasts, man. Because like Jaremo's still around doing damage. Like, who's this? Oh no, that's just Sergeant. No, Jaremo's still around doing damage. So he's become quite the beast now. After many years of practice. Gonna wait for some time just to recover and now jump out really quick. Oof, not that many horsemen actually. Hey, 300, okay. With 300 troops I can deal with this. But now I'm gonna have to help the other guy who's there pretty much alone. Well, and what mod do you want to play? I don't know. I'd enjoy playing. I don't like the. I've never gotten into Game of Thrones, so I don't want to play that. I don't care what people say. It's not for me. I just don't know why. It just isn't. There is a Roman Empire mod, or a Rome mod in general. That would be nice to play. Lord of the Rings. I think that's for the Lord of the Rings mod. Is only for the original Mount and Blade, isn't it? It's not for this. It's not for Warband. Or am I incorrect? I could be incorrect. Nah, Warband. I might give that a try then. I quite like Lord of the Rings mod. The one I played, I think it was a quite outdated one though. It has been a few years since I played it though, so that could be it. It's pretty interesting. You are a captain of a unit before the war starts. Oh, okay. So yeah, I've got plenty of options, not lack of options, you know what I mean? It's just what seems best to play. I think like going for a mod would be the better option. Faction and so money or call resources, yeah. I remember that as well. So I do think that going for a mod would be the better idea. Because then I'm still playing Mount and Blade, which I'm decent at. I'm not the best, but I'm decent at. And it appeals to the right kind of people, I guess. God damn it. There are ranks, etc. Yeah, that's what I remember. And I remember the elves being OP as fuck. I remember like a small patrol of elves will kill pretty much anyone. I was scared of the elves when I played it. I was playing as Isengard, and I kind of finished the campaign, and then. Have you played all the way through? So I don't spoil anything. Probably some years ago. Well, we won as Isengard and Mordor, so the forces of evil won. And let's just say that at the end, the Mordor's like, haha, you know, we're friends, yeah. That never happened, and then we kind of got fucked, like big time. But I think if we're playing elves, the elves are so OP, man. I'm always dwarf. Yeah, dwarves are strong as well. Not as strong as elves though. I cannot stress how strong elves were. I had like a full force of Urukai, and I went over to the elves after we're done with men, and those motherfuckers just, a group of them with their arrows, they would kill anything. And then you got close and you think, okay, maybe they're just archers. No, motherfuckers would whip out a sword longer than my tits, and they would just cut up all of my orcs, all of my uruks, yeah. No fucking chance. So I've learned that I think the way that we killed them was as sheer numbers, where we killed more than they could. We fielded more people than they could kill. I think that's my method to beating them. Because even with warg riders, you wouldn't get close because their arrows would just do so much fucking damage. So yeah, if I'm gonna be elves this time. Because elves OP. Dude, so fast. At first I didn't understand, it's like, oh, the elves only got like a patrol of 10 people. Pfft, okay, then I've got 50 odd. I can take them. Only did I not realise how strong those guys were. And then after that, I thought, oh, maybe it's because I didn't have like the top tier troops. I'll go and get some top tier troops later down the game. I fought them, and guess what? It didn't help. I just got slain anyways. And after that moment, I decided I would not fight the elves alone anymore. And I learned my place in the Middle Earth. My place was hiding from elves. That was my place on Middle Earth. Anything but fighting elves. I feel like I need to deposit these troops and get some crossbowmen, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Leave anything that's an archer is gonna stay. I'm just gonna take footloads of wow. I had 100 knights, now I've got nearly none. I'm just gonna take sharpshooters. Anything with arrows, I guess. Guess I don't have that many. Okay. Which means I should probably recruit some more. Damn. Nothing to eat. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I completely forgot that my troops are starving. There you go, plenty of food. Not complaining. Right, let's make some knights, some man-at-arms, and now start making crossbowmen. Really, if I want crossbowmen, I should go to the Rhodoks. Sure, let's go Rhodoks. No, I don't wish to fight any bandits. I just want crossbowmen. Oh, that's all I can carry anyways. Let's go and get some food while I'm here. Yeah, damn right. Give me all the different food types. Ah, let's go. I need to wait another day just so I can get some more crossbowmen. Ah, fuck it. Let's just do it. No pussy. No pussy. Show my troops up there. There's a reason why I chose sharpshooters, by the way. And archers in general. Because this castle, if you stand up here, shit's easy, man. Shit's very easy. There we go. Easy peasy. That's the tower cleaned. No sweating, no nothing. Very easy peasy. Once they're done here, they're gonna start shooting towards the end. Them towers down there, hopefully. No, they don't. Okay. If I remember correctly, this corner here is pretty good. I just want the arrows, that's it. So I'm gonna put them down there for now and let my archers do the work. Because they will poke their heads out like that. Again, another great reason to bring archers to this one. And ranged troops in general. Ow. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm out. Yeah, you can see how much damage I'm actually doing just with archers. Because that's the interesting thing, is that... Oh my god, that was close. It's that while you're down here, they like to put their heads out on this castle. I don't know why, they just do. Ah, I didn't bring my siege gear. God damn it. Give me your arrows. Give me your arrows. Yes. I just hope that we can win the siege without... Yeah, we might lose it now, but I got hit hard. That's okay, I think we've done plenty of damage anyways. That was a pretty small amount of troops that reinforced, so I'm assuming that's the last of them as well. So that should be all. That should be all. We just need to get in there now. We're laughing at harder. Did I say something again? We're still doing damage with the crossbowman. You'll see that most of my kills are actually done by the crossbowman. Still, you only have archer at the front. Yeah, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Again, the main point of this siege was to take the castle. There was no secondary point to take anything else after this. I mean, there is another castle a bit down south, or a bit to the west, if you look at the map. Compass, it's to the west, and there is another castle there, but I don't know if I should bother taking it just yet. This song right now reminds me of Doom. You know, the original Doom soundtrack. It's funny how we've not actually taken anyone down for the longest time now. Oh, we got one by a sharpshooter. I'm listening to synthwave music currently. Yeah, same. you can hear it in every game and it doesn't feel out of place. Yeah, that's the brilliancy of synthwave. I agree with you. Come on, siege is nearly over. Just a few more. So yeah, I feel like Sea of Thieves would be a nice change of pace. Be a different game. But then when I go back to Bannerlord, maybe it doesn't resonate with the people that are watching the Sea of Thieves stream. While if I stay on Mount and Blade and switch it to Lord of the Rings mods, I'll definitely get new viewers because people are just bored of the old, you know, vanilla shit. And it'll still be a game that I'm fairly decent at. So I think I'll go for the mod. I'll go for Lord of the Rings mod. Yeah, once this castle's captured, I need to go sleep though. And the thing with the Lord of the Rings mod, there's no Swadian gods, so it's a bit more balanced. Where tactics actually are important. Or you can just get 20 or 30 Lothlorien archers and you win the game by default. Says the one flaming the elves. Yeah, damn right. They are strong as fuck. That's why I'm going for them. 20 Lothlorien archers, that's it. Bring whatever you want. You need about triple the troops to handle those motherfuckers. Simply because they can't kill you fast enough. We're done. Women can choose elves above anything else are getting defollowed. No, they're not. You know you wouldn't do that to me. Never bet on it. Oh no, not nods. I can't take nods, I forgot. Take the Serenades though. And Rodox. Oh no, I need to get rid of this veteran spearman. Take the veteran crossbowman. Train crossbowman, always. And skirmishes. There we go. Never bet on it. I'll try not to. I don't like losing bets. Especially when the bet consists of you just clicking a simple button. Here you go, Zugan. Stop crying. Right, I'm gonna leave it here for now. Right, we're doing some good progress, finally. Nods are nearly done with. It's 1, 2, 3. 3 castles and a city. Should be done by tomorrow, hopefully. We are a bit stretched because we got to defend 1, 2, 3, 4 locations now. But the sheer aggression should stop any pushes. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow anyways. Thank you for sharing out.